It was a Sunday, January 4th, 2026. A normal day until it wasn't. People everywhere were going about their routines, not knowing the sky was about to change forever. No one looked up. Why would they? The sky was calm, blue, familiar, but something was coming, silent, fast, and unforgiving. There was no warning, no sirens, no alerts, just a sudden, deep tremor. For 10 seconds, the world paused. Coffee cups rattled, windows hummed. People exchanged confused glances. Was it an earthquake? An explosion? For 10 seconds, humanity was united by a single, silent question. What was that? Then, everything went quiet. Dogs stopped barking. Birds fell silent. The noise of civilization faded into an eerie stillness. And then, the light. Not sunlight, but a blinding white flash that erased shadows and burned the sky. For many, it was the last thing they saw. The heat came next, a wave so intense it vaporized everything in its path. In that moment, the illusion of control vanished. We were just passengers on a rock, and a bigger rock had arrived. The silence was broken. A roar, not of this earth, tore through the sky. It was the sound of a mountain moving at 30 kilometers per second, continents cracking, oceans boiling. The world's brief confusion was replaced by the certainty of the end. There was no time to run, no time to pray, no time to say goodbye. Humanity's story was about to end, abruptly, violently. The 10 seconds of silence were over. The world's final chapter had begun. In those moments, the planet itself seemed to scream. The sky, once a comfort, became a weapon. The end wasn't a slow decline, but a single, blinding instant. The world, as we knew it, was gone. All that remained was the trail of destruction. The silence before the storm was over. The storm was here. After the flash, disbelief reigned. People filmed the sky thinking it was a hoax or a movie scene. Social media exploded with jokes and memes, until fear set in. Scientists only knew an hour before. An automated system flagged a near-Earth object, Ceres, the largest asteroid in the belt, now on a collision course. There was no time to act. There was no way to stop it. The asteroid, 1,000 kilometers wide, became visible to the naked eye. A burning sphere tearing through the atmosphere. The air itself turned to plasma, hotter than the sun. The laughter died. Terror spread. Everyone looked up, united in horror. The spectacle was both beautiful and apocalyptic. Fire, shadow, and a blood-red sky. A deafening roar shook the world. For a few seconds, humanity was an audience to its own extinction. The sky was no longer falling. It was God's hammer. The end was no longer abstract. It was real, and it was here. The world's last show had begun. There was no escape, no hope. The curtains were falling. The sky itself had become our executioner. The impact wasn't just an event, it was a reset. The asteroid hit the Pacific, releasing energy beyond billions of nuclear bombs. The ocean vaporized. A flash erased 1,000 kilometers in an instant. The shockwave spread across the planet, destroying cities, toppling skyscrapers, liquefying the ground. Then came the heat, an incandescent pulse that set the world on fire. Forests, cities, and the air itself caught fire. The planet boiled. The shockwave flattened what little remained. In minutes, Earth's surface was sterilized, burned, and devastated. The world we knew was gone, black, red, and lifeless. The end was total. The result was a world remade by violence. The Pacific was now a wound on the planet, exposing the mantle and triggering volcanic eruptions everywhere. Mega tsunamis swept continents, obliterating coastlines and mountains. The continents themselves moved. Land sank. New land rose. The world map was redrawn in fire and water. The sky rained fire as ejected debris re-entered, igniting anything that remained. Earth was trapped under a dome of burning rock. The age of man ended. The age of fire began. The planet was a smoking ruin. Nothing was untouched. After the fire and flood came the darkness. Dust and ash covered the sun, plunging the world into a night that lasted years. Temperatures plummeted. The planet froze. Black, toxic rain fell, then black snow. Oceans began to freeze. Photosynthesis stopped. Plants and plankton died. Oxygen levels dropped. The air became poisonous. Agriculture failed. Animals starved. Food chains collapsed in weeks. The world became a frozen tomb. Survivors faced hunger, cold, and suffocating air. Civilization ended. Only survival remained. The green world was gone, replaced by death and darkness. The planet was no longer a garden, but a tomb. The long night had begun. Life's foundation was shattered. The world was silent, cold, and empty. The age of life had ended, at least on the surface. Most life was wiped out in days. The Anthropocene ended in silence. However, in the ocean's depths, near hydrothermal vents, life persisted. Blind crabs, tube worms, and ancient microbes. On the surface, only the smallest, toughest creatures survived. Bacteria, fungi, extremophiles. These were the planet's new rulers, thriving in darkness and cold. Life retreated underground, into the rocks, into the deep sea. The world above was dead, but below, life waited. Life's tenacity remained unshaken. The planet was wounded but not empty. Decades passed. The dust settled. The sun returned, pale and weak. The world was unrecognizable. Gray mud, black rock, and melting ice. Floods reshaped the land. But in the mud, life stirred. Ferns, the toughest plants, returned first, painting the world green again. They began to rebuild the atmosphere, releasing oxygen. Insects and burrowing animals emerged, evolution accelerating in the empty world. The planet healed, slowly and painfully. A new biosphere was born from the ashes. Earth had survived, transformed, but alive. The story of life continued. And what about us? Perhaps some survived, descendants of the luckiest and toughest. They emerged into a world they didn't recognize, the sun a legend, the past a fading story. Civilization was gone, knowledge lost. They started over, reinventing everything. Would they repeat our mistakes? Or would they remember the day the sky fell? Their survival was a miracle, a last spark of a once great flame. The asteroid wasn't evil. It was just physics, a reminder of our place in the cosmos. We are guests here, not owners. Our time is precious, never guaranteed. Look up, not with fear, but with wonder.